I think some of the barriers that you're facing when you're looking at unlocking brand budget through programmatic is potentially some of the pipes that link together the types of creative formats that we're looking to use. So potentially there's formats like homepage takeovers that only some publishers you can run with programmatically. So I think it's that point where we'll actually be able to access those formats programmatically that we'll actually be able to unlock further brand spend. I think as well one of the important things about unlocking brand spend for programmatic as well is around measurement. So the measurement models that we have in-house at Money Supermarket are very much DR-led, and I think it's important to start looking at other measurement metric opportunities around brand awareness. Say for example, are we actually hitting the right audience? What type of engagement are we actually getting with those consumers?
The barriers to unlocking more brand spend into programmatic are probably most acutely around, I'd say, advertiser familiarity and comfortability with programmatic and the technologies involved. Above and beyond that, it's really a question of demonstrating effectiveness. So the great thing about direct response is you can look at effectiveness in the short term and a relatively immediate effect. With brand, you have to think of a different set of metrics and also consider the interrelation of other media channels. So that's the magic of brand. If you can crack that, then I think the money will flow in and benefit from the specific benefits that programmatic offers.
So there's one big key question is, how do we unlock brand budgets when we're talking about programmatic? One has got to be that it's about showing that there is a brand safe environment for them to trade in. The second part is actually giving them context, giving them confidence in how we're trading. I think sometimes we get too complicated. In fact, we're looking at one of the categories and it was saying this model is good and actually it's done effectively, and therefore it makes it easy for brand advertisers to understand it. If you get too complex, I think you lose them along that way, especially when it comes to complex things like attribution modelling that actually can be quite simplistic. And I think brand advertisers understand that side of it when it's kept pure and simple as doing what it needs to do. We are coming into an age in which we're looking at cost per awareness metric, which makes it, I think, more exciting for brand budgets because that's a metric that works for both brand as well as it does for direct response. But we absolutely need to start showing brand advertisers that programmatic can be a vehicle for them to use and spend their marketing budgets on.
So what are the remaining barriers to unlocking more brand spend in programmatic? Well, I think that firstly on the publisher side, publishers need to have a far, I would say, better definition of what premium means when applied to programmatic. And surely this doesn't necessarily just mean a guarantee, but it means, what kinds of formats and high impact placements are you allowing to be traded via programmatic? And also very importantly, to what degree are you allowing your data and insights to be leveraged to drive more creativity and innovation? So that's on the publisher side. And I think on the brand and advertiser side, I think that it's going to need to be a continued but accelerated process of educating and embracing what programmatic means and what programmatic can enable. And if this means that from an organizational point of view, we need to make far bolder decisions to get the right people in and sculpt the organizations in the right way so that we can actually truly have this wonderful marketing machine that takes the best of the creativity that has always embedded marketing as a discipline in tandem with technology, enabling that creativity to be taken to the next level. I think that's what needs to happen in order for more brand spend to be unlocked.
I think one of the remaining barriers to unlocking brand budget to programmatic training is the focus on brand budget itself. The industry has a tendency to look internally at the amount of money that's being invested in particular channels or particular routes, and I think the real opportunity is for brand marketers and budget holders to look proactively at how programmatic is driving bottom line improvement and top line growth. And I think that's going to be the greatest opportunity. So education is really the major barrier towards the increasing adoption of programmatic. And so initiatives like the Drum Digital Trading Awards, which showcase the best of what's possible, and there's some great work happening in the UK at the moment, really I think help address the opportunity and help marketers and agencies in the broader community understand how digital display can be used proactively to drive value.
It's important that advertisers move beyond just having a line on the media plan for programmatic. And actually, some of the low-hanging fruit on how they can have a more advanced program that delivers a greater return and greater profit for their businesses is thinking about how you can use your own data better, so first-party data. A lot of brands have a significant amount of it and it really can add a lot if leveraged correctly.
I think the main barriers for unlocking more brand spend in programmatic, again, I would say it's a combination of technology, but technology that allows it to scale efficiently. At the moment, it's there's an education piece to be done because a lot of agencies remain unaware that it's possible to target and deliver at scale. It's all very new. It's very, very, very new, and brands, I think, is an educational piece. I mean, I think there's a huge amount of education needed, not just on the brand side, but across the across the piece as a whole. And but I would ask me that question again in September, and I think we'll have seen a huge amount of change in the market over the next 6 months.